There is someone in your life right now who is deeply, completely, almost overwhelmingly in love with you, and you don't fully know it yet, not because they haven't been showing you, but because love this deep, this real, this consuming, doesn't always look the way movies taught you to expect it to look. It doesn't always arrive with grand declarations. It doesn't always announce itself loudly. It doesn't always demand to be seen. Sometimes it shows up quietly, in the way someone remembers everything you've ever told them, in the way your name changes something in their expression before they even realize it happened, in the way they choose you, again and again, in moments so small you almost miss them entirely. And here's what psychology tells us about this kind of love. When someone loves you deeply, truly deeply, not surface-level infatuation, but the kind that has settled into their bones, their entire psychological world begins to reorganize itself around your presence. They don't just think about you, they think about you in chapters. And tonight, we're going to talk about exactly what that looks like, because someone is showing you right now, and you deserve to finally see it clearly. Stay with me. 1. They remember everything, in a way that goes beyond normal memory. Let's start here, because this sign is one of the most honest psychological indicators of deep love, and most people dismiss it as simply being attentive. They remember everything about you, not just the important things, the small things, the thing you mentioned 6 weeks ago that you completely forgot you said, the specific way you take your coffee, the name of the person who hurt you years before you met them, the small fear you admitted once in passing, that you hope nobody really heard. They heard it, they stored it, and they carry it with them. Here's what psychology reveals about this. Memory is not neutral. The brain doesn't store everything with equal weight. It prioritizes based on emotional significance. What matters to us emotionally gets encoded more deeply, recalled more easily, returned to more frequently. So when someone remembers the small details of your life, the specific texture of your stories, the particular way you phrase things when you're nervous versus when you're relaxed, that's not just good memory. That's evidence of profound emotional investment. That's someone who has been paying attention to you at a level that only happens when someone has fallen deeply. Because here's the truth, we don't remember what we don't care about. And when someone can recall the details of your life better than you can recall them yourself, that's not coincidence, that's love, doing what love always does, making the beloved impossible to forget. 2. You became their safe place. This sign is more subtle, but once you recognize it, you'll understand something profound about what exists between you. You became their safe place, not because they decided to make you that, not because they sat down and made a conscious choice, but because something in them relaxed around you in a way it doesn't relax anywhere else. You can see it in small moments, the way they tell you things they don't tell other people, the way they become quieter and more themselves around you, rather than louder and more performative, the way they drop the social mask faster with you than with anyone else, the way your presence seems to regulate something in them that stays unregulated everywhere else. Psychology calls this the secure base effect. In attachment theory, when someone develops deep love for another person, that person becomes a psychological anchor, a place the nervous system associates with safety, with being fully known and fully accepted, with the specific relief of not having to manage how you're perceived. And once someone's nervous system establishes you as their safe place, something irreversible happens in their attachment system. You become the person they think of when things go wrong, the person they want to tell first when something goes right, the person their emotional world quietly organizes itself around, not because they're dependent, but because you became something genuinely rare to them, a place that feels like home. And people don't leave their home easily. They protect it, they return to it, they carry it with them even when they're far away. 3. They look at you differently when you're not watching. This sign cannot be faked, and it's one of the most beautiful psychological truths about deep love. Pay attention to how they look at you when they think you're not watching, not the way they look at you when they know you can see them. The unguarded moments, the split second before they compose themselves, the expression that crosses their face when you say something that delights them, the way their eyes track you in a room, even when the conversation doesn't require it, the specific softness that appears in their expression in moments they didn't choose to perform. Psychology tells us that genuine emotion bypasses social performance. We can control our words. We can manage our body language to a degree. We can regulate our tone. But the micro-expressions that cross someone's face in unguarded moments, those belong to the truth. And when someone is deeply in love, those micro-expressions appear whether they want them to or not. A slight brightening when you enter a room. A specific kind of attention that doesn't wander toward anyone else. The look of someone who is genuinely happy you exist. Not because of what you do for them, but simply because you do. If you've caught them looking at you that way, even once, even briefly before they looked away, you saw something real, something they probably didn't intend for you to see quite yet. Something that revealed more than everything they've said to you combined. For they choose you in quiet ways every day. Deep love is not proven by grand gestures, it's proven by consistent small ones. And this sign is everywhere once you start looking for it. They choose you in quiet ways that don't announce themselves. They remember what you said and act on it. They check on you at the exact moment you needed someone to check on you. They defend you in rooms you'll never know about. They think of you when something reminds them of you, and then actually tell you about it. Because the impulse to connect with you is stronger than the self-consciousness of seeming too much. They rearrange small things in their world to make room for you. Not dramatically, not in ways they expect you to notice, but consistently, in the repeated quiet pattern of someone who has already decided that you matter. Here's what psychology tells us about this. Behavioral consistency is the most reliable indicator of genuine attachment. Anyone can perform love in a moment of inspiration, but consistent small choices, repeated across weeks and months, without an audience, without reward, without expectation of recognition, those reveal where someone's heart actually lives. And if someone has been consistently choosing you in small, invisible ways, that's not habit. That's love that has already made up its mind about you, long before it found the words to say so. 5. They become their truest self around you. This sign is the one that often surprises people most. When someone is deeply in love with you, they become a slightly different version of themselves around you. Not a performed version, a truer version. The version that exists when all the social calculation falls away, when they stop managing how they're perceived and start simply being present. They laugh differently around you, more freely, more genuinely, without monitoring whether it sounds right. They talk differently, more honestly, more openly, saying things they wouldn't say to most people, and not because they made a conscious decision to be vulnerable, but because something about your presence makes honesty feel safe. They move differently, more relaxed, less performed, like they've stopped trying to be impressive and started trying to be real. Psychology calls this the de-individuation of self in genuine attachment. When we truly love someone, the energy we normally spend on self-monitoring and social performance gets redirected toward genuine presence. We stop trying to control how we're seen, and we start simply being with the person we love. And that shift, that specific relaxation of performance, is one of the clearest signs that someone's feelings have gone far deeper than they may have admitted, because you only fully relax around people you truly trust. And deep love always begins with deep trust. 6. They are in love with who they become around you. And this final sign is the deepest one of all, because this is what separates deep love from casual attraction. They don't just love you, they love who they become when they're with you, the version of themselves that feels more integrated, more honest, more at peace with who they are. more capable of the kind of depth and presence they struggle to access anywhere else. And here's why this matters so profoundly. Psychology tells us that the most powerful form of human attachment isn't attachment to another person's qualities. It's attachment to the emotional state that person creates in us, the way we feel in our own skin when we're with them, the specific version of ourselves that comes alive in their presence. And when someone has fallen deeply in love with you, they haven't just fallen for your personality or your appearance or your humor. They've fallen for the version of themselves that exists when you're around. The more open version, the more trusting version. The version that laughs more freely and worries less. The version that feels like enough. And once someone has experienced that version of themselves, once they've lived inside that feeling of being fully accepted and fully known, letting go of it becomes almost impossible. Because they're not just losing you. They would be losing the best version of themselves, and that is the deepest form of love there is. Final lesson, the deepest truth about real love. So here is what all of this is telling you. Someone in your life right now is deeply, completely, overwhelmingly in love with you. Not in the loud, obvious way that's easy to see, in the way that lasts, in the way that shows up in how they remember you, in how they became safe with you, in how they look at you when they think you're not watching, in how they choose you quietly and consistently, in how they become more themselves around you, in how they love not just who you are, but who they are when they're with you. Real love doesn't always announce itself. It just keeps showing up in small, consistent moments, in quiet, unguarded expressions, in the specific ways a person reorganizes their whole inner world around the presence of someone who finally feels like home. And if someone has been doing all of this for you, without you fully seeing it, maybe tonight is the night you finally do. If this felt personal tonight, if someone specific came to mind while you were listening, if something in you recognized what this video was describing, don't ignore that. Drop one word in the comments, or simply write, "I see it now." Because sometimes the most life-changing thing is finally seeing clearly what has been in front of you all along. Share this with someone who needs to hear this tonight. Because sometimes the right words find people at exactly the right moment. Subscribe to Psyche Secrets. Because understanding yourself and the people who love you is genuinely the most powerful thing you will ever do. And you deserve to finally start seeing it all clearly.